Winter has well and truly arrived for large parts of the country.
So most of us close the windows, pull the blinds, rug up and turn the heater on and forget about the outdoors.
But you know, it doesn't have to be that way. You can turn your outdoor area into a space that's suitable to use all year round, especially during the colder months. Nigel, Alison and their daughter Emily have the perfect outdoor space for this. Plenty of potential and functional, but only for part of the year.
Tell you what, guys, this is a great size space. How long have you had it covered up like this for?
15 years, maybe,
15.
I think.
And you use it all year round?
Mainly in the summer and the warmer months. It gets a bit cool out here in the winter.
I do notice you got your music over there in the corner. Is that you, Emily? Is it Dad?
Dad's music, but I do listen to it.
It doesn't look very cosy though, not very comfy. So what can we do and what can't we do out here? Are there any no's to anything?
Not really.
As far as
no.
I'm concerned, you can do whatever you like.
Because what I can see here is cosy, luxurious, lots of layering.
The best thing about it is you've got great bones. It's a big space and we don't have to do a lot of construction. We can work within this perimeter and make it deluxe.
Sounds great to me.
To create a feeling of enclosure in this space, our plan is to create a plant bookshelf that'll double as a screen. Around the bottom, I'll throw in a garden bed. There'll also be a built-in barbecue to help to define the space. We'll add some heating, disguise some windows, and construct a bench that'll double as a servery.
They're not bad, are they?
They're pretty good, actually. They've served me well for 45 years. Oh,
Not your legs,
sorry,
the pavers.
pavers. No, they're great. There's a couple that are mouldy over there, but they'll come up clean with this.
Yeah, cool.
I'll tell you what, guys, this is going to take forever with those. I brought in the big guns.
He's a show-off.
Hey, it's about productivity.
All the gear and no idea.
You're not meant to tell anyone, Jace.
He's just showing off. Come on, we can do it. The plan is to make this whole area as cosy as possible. And this little corner, well, it's going to be a seating area, so I want to block off all of these drafts. I've had the boys batten out the wall, and now it's just on with this cement sheeting, which simply gets tacked in place and then painted over the top. It's not drafty now.
I noticed when we were clearing out underneath here, we did not remove one plant. So my main job for this makeover is to create a wall through here and around to the next post to make this area nice and green. And by wall, I mean a screen where I can put pots on it. So, using some of this timber, which is 150 by 25 rough sawn treated pine, I'm going to create some shelves and verticals. It'll end up looking like a noughts and crosses board, so to speak, and this is relatively easy to work with. And the reason why I've gone for it is because, as a shelf, it's nice and wide to put a pot on. I'm going to start by staining it. Staining big, long runs is a lot easier than doing all those corners. I'm going to have 16 evenly spaced squares through here. Now, so I don't have to pick up a tape measure 1,000 times, I'm just going to use one of the risers as a spacer. So if I put that in there, screw that off, copy it over here, without picking up a tape measure, I know that they're all exactly the same distance apart.
Now, there's not a lot structurally we have to do in this space, so cosmetic changes are the go. So my first thought was, let's paint this entire section and just kind of recolour the bricks so we get a fresh new look. But when I looked at them really closely, I actually thought these are quite nice, and I think we can work with them instead of painting them out. So the whole idea is to pick out a colour that's in this mortar, and what we're going to paint instead is all of the timber work in here. So the entire pergola that's cream at the moment looks a little 90s. By colouring it this, which is a really nice grey cabin colour, it'll make it feel modern and fresh in here, and it means we can celebrate the bricks rather than hiding them.
For this winter room, we're going to need somewhere to cook the food, and that's my responsibility. I'm building a barbecue area. To make it, I'm trying to keep it simple. So it's a heap of modular frames that are just put together using butt joints. So they're all square cuts. You just push it up against the other piece of timber and you fix it off. You can't get much easier than that. All right, so all the frames are made. Now I'm ready to put it in place. hopefully now this makes sense. So you can see with these two top frames on, this is the top of our bench, and down here is where our barbie will sit. And to tie these frames together, I'm just using these timber cleats that go on the side like that. Now, obviously, the barbie is going to be throwing off a fair bit of heat. So to stop our beautiful frame from getting burnt, I'm just putting in some 15mm compressed sheeting, which will keep the heat to this area.
Just like inside the house, the type of dining table you choose really does help to define the style and almost the character, if you like, of the space. Now, I'm wanting something that's quite modern but classic at the same time, and I think this one fits the bill. It's got this really great chunky concrete top, equalled by this really amazing base. Now, because we have such a great big area to work with, I reckon we can really splurge. This is a 2-metre length table. I think we could go the 2.4. Have you seen these? They're aluminium panels. They come in different colours and have all of these great different patterns on them, and they're so easy to install. Now, you can actually put them as a pair across a wall, or you could do what I'm doing and hang them from the ceiling. So I'm using them in front of a couple of sliding doors, and I think they're going to add fantastic impact to our outdoor winter room. I'm shopping for a couple of ceiling fans, which I know sounds absurd because we're decorating an outdoor winter room, right? But these during the winter months can actually make you feel warmer. Just make sure you shop for the ones that are rated for al fresco use.
All right, we are ready to start cladding this barbecue. Now, you'll see that I've painted the frame black on the sides, and that's because once I put these boards up, the gaps in between will look more like a shadow and you won't see this blonde timber. But I haven't painted it on top, and that's because I'm going to be using these deck spacers. They're fantastic because it gives you a consistent 4mm gap, and you'll see that it's also got a curve on it. So when you're outside and it rains, once they're on here, the rain comes down and it deflects it off the joist. And for the boards, I'm using this beautiful black butt timber. You can see how much character it's got. It's going to look great. Been doing some framing, mate.
Framing? This is new shelves.
Oh, what are they, Jace?
That's what people in Victoria call shelves.
Oh, shelves.
Yeah, I watch you on the show every week. You just super motivate me, so I thought I'd have a crack at this.
Fantastic. What are you putting on there? Pictures of
I
me?
haven't thought about that yet.
Yeah, portraits of me, Jace.
No, something that the people are going to like.
Oh, definitely don't do that then.
A vertical garden.
Beautiful.
If it fits, it was all my work. If it doesn't fit, I blame him.
Blame it on Joe. What do you think of the barbecue? Well, there's no barbie, actually. What do you think of the bench?
Thought you were going to feed us. Nice bench. Underneath the shelves, I'm going to put in another garden bed. Now, you might look at this and think he's being lazy or he's lost his marbles because he's left those pavers there, but these pavers are on a slab, so if I took them out, any excess water would go under the pavers and undermine this path that I'm leaving, and they'd end up swimming away. So leaving the pavers there is actually a better thing to do. I'm going to line it, and I need to be careful about what I plant. You want things that are shallow-rooted. Looking good, mate. I'm done. I'm getting the plants.
Oh, hold up, hold up. I've got 2 paintbrushes, mate.
Yeah, you got 2 hands.
Yeah, no, I'm left-handed, so I thought you can do the right-handed stuff.
Oh, OK.
That's it. Now, we need to protect this beautiful hardwood timber. So I've got some Ultra Clear, and the beauty about that is it keeps this natural finish, but obviously it protects the timber. Do you like it, Joe?
Have you shaken this?
It's definitely not shaken. It's been stirred. We're ready to go.
So it's mixed.
It's mixed.
You got a drop sheet? I'm a messy painter.
Oh, come on, seriously. You won't drop this. It's Ultra Clear, mate.
True. Would this be $1,000?
Just for the materials?
Yeah.
Yeah, well under 1,000. I reckon here, I haven't added it up exactly, but I'd say around $600 worth of materials to get to this stage.
Plus the barbie, obviously.
Yeah, then plus the barbie on top. Tara's picked up these screens from Bunnings and she wants me to create a frame for it. So I've got some 140 by 45 treated pine here and it's been dressed so it's nice and smooth. What I'm doing first with my router, I've got my slot bit in there to create a groove along the edge of the timber. Once that's done, I'm just making 45-degree cuts at each end to create a picture frame that will go around the screen. With the cuts done, it's then on to staining before gluing and screwing the frame together. But you only want 3 sides done at this point. All right, now before I complete this frame, you'll see that I've put the cement sheeting. That's what's going to create the privacy. And now I'm ready to slide the feature screen in. You'll see it just goes in our grooves. Line it up. There we go. In she goes. Once this is in place, I can then get the final piece on. I'm ready to hang it up. How good does this fireplace look? It is huge. Look at the size of it. It's definitely going to be the hero of this outdoor room. Now, I do need to point out that these are for indoor use, but in our situation, we're very lucky that we've got this enclosed area where we can set it up. And to set it up, you do need the professionals to do that for you, but I'll tell you what, I can't wait till they're finished because I want to see this thing on fire.
Alison has a collection of these great sewing machine bases, so I thought I'd incorporate at least one into the design. Now, if you are preparing metal like this and you want to get it up to scratch, the first thing you need to know is to grab yourself a wire brush and give it a good scrub down. What this does is it takes care of any loose and flaky paint and it takes off some of this surface rust. The next thing you need is a good quality primer. This is a steel primer. Make sure you wear your mask. Now, when that's dry, it'll be all ready to go on with your top coat colour. In this case, I've just gone for satin black. Oh, it's heavy. Sturdy. Base.
It's good timing.
Top, look at that.
What do you think of my black butt tabletop?
So gorgeous. Look at that timber.
It's nice, isn't it? So I built this exactly the same way as a barbecue, and it ties everything together, eh?
I love that. It's a bit of character and it's practical and beautiful too.
Before I add the plants, I'm putting in mulch mat. That'll keep the soil in place, but allow the water to drain through. So the potting mix is in. I haven't put in too much because I'm putting in around 50 plants. So all the little root balls are going to add up to a fair bit of size as well. So I'm not over soiling. I'm using Pogneranthrum, but you can just call a baby panda when you're looking for it down at Bunnings. They do like a drink. They'll always look lush and green, and I just want to end up with one great big massive plant. So we're spacing them out first to make sure that I get them even before we start planting the first one.
I'm such a fan of using mirrors outside because just like inside the house, they create a focal point and they can also help to make the space feel larger and bounce the light around. Now, you can pick them up off the shelf at Bunnings like this, about 30 bucks. They're so affordable, but like this, used outside, they're not very strong. So I've had the boys knock me up a frame. Now, to attach this, I need some silicone, and then the mirror literally sits in on top and just press it down firmly. Ooh, done. To neaten things off and also help to hold it in, I'm using some timber moulding. And you just got to be really careful here with your hammer. Just make sure you slide it against the glass. That way you're not going to shatter things.
When that Barbie's in place and everyone's out here entertaining, I reckon one of the real nice things would be just to come and grab a little bit of mint for your mojito, some lettuce for your burger. You've got all your herbs and spices just at fingertips reach. Now, because they're in small pots, they're going to need regular watering, but you're not getting real harsh direct sunlight here, and that extra water can come down and water the plant we've got below it.
No matter what the outdoor space you have, I reckon you can always make more of it just with clever lighting. Now, these little guys, they're cafe lights, so popular right now, you just plug them in. And what's so good about them is they're pretty cheap, $69 for 10. And they've got these little connectors they simply plug in and screw on, so you can make them as long as you like. But just for simple ambience above the dining table, what we've done here is had an electrician just install some beautiful pendants.
She's a flash-looking Barbie. Now, may I ask, I'm used to the gas connection, but what's with the electricity?
This one has lights on it, mate. So you open it up, you can see what you're cooking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And also, these knobs light up.
I don't don't mind this plain cement sheeting. It looks pretty good painted, but I think we can do better just with using these timber battens. Now, what these do is just kind of give a little bit of texture and profile to the wall, make it look a bit more like a log cabin, don't you think? Very cosy. To further cozy up this space, we're installing a blind, just to enclose it a little bit more.
And hanging our screens over the glass doors, which adds a nice focal point in the room.
A rug outside? Yes, you can. These days, you can buy these really clever indoor-outdoor rugs. This one's made from polypropylene. It's completely durable and totally washable.
Tara has put a rug down. That can only mean one thing. Time to add the finishing touches to this outdoor room.
Table set, I reckon we're done. And doesn't it look inviting? So much warmer and way more usable. The family will be able to relax out here all year round now. So we better get them in to take a look.
Oh, wow. Come on. Oh, wow.
First impressions?
It's too good to use.
I don't know where to look. It just looks unbelievable.
And we know you love to entertain, so Alison, where you had the servery, it was working, wasn't it, Ad? So we just decided to keep going with that and just get you a nice big table. So it's just like one step up from what you had before. We've
A bit
just
more than one step.
Can you feel how warm it is in here? Because we've got this fire crackling in the corner. We've got this beautiful blind that stops the breeze. So you've got this whole cosy corner with just gorgeous cushions. So it's a whole other space that you can live in, basically. It's an outdoor lounge room and an outdoor dining space.